our GBC, His Grace Nityaṁ Prabhu has specifically requested that we offer prayers for the well-being and good health of all the people who have been affected. Om Sarve Bhavantu Sukhina Sarve Santu Niramaya Sarve Bhadrani Pashyantu Ma Kasyat Dukha Bhag Bhavet. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Narayanam Namaskrityam Naram Chaiva Narottamam Devim Saraswatim Vyasam Tato Jayam Mudirayet. Nashtaprayeshu Abhadreshu Nityaṁ bhāgavata-sevayā. Bhagavati Uttamashloke Bhaktir Bhavati Neshtaki. Ārādhayo Bhagavāna Vracheshu Tadanayas Tadhāma Vrindavanam. Ramya Kachitupasana Vrajavadhu Vargena Va Kalpita. Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam Pramanamamalam Prema Pumato Mahan. Śrī Caitanya Mahāprabhu matamidam tatradhara naparaha. Gurave Gaurachandraya Radhikaya Tadalaye. Krishnaya Krishna Bhaktaya Tadbhaktaya Namo Namaha. He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dīnabandhu Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostate. Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari. Vrishabhanu Sute Devi Pranamami Hari Priye. Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shrivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. Deva Deva Jagannatha Prapanarthi Vinashanam Trahi Mam Pundarikaksham Patitam Bhavasagare. Jai Devi Bhakti Datri Prasiddha Parameshwari. Jai Devi Subhadratvam Sarvesham Bhadradaini. Nilachala Nivasaya Nityaya Paramatmane. Balabhadra Subhadrabhyam Jagannatayati Namaha. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Om Tat Sat. Thank you so much, dear worshipable devotees, for joining. Thank you, Upendra Prabhu, for your association.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji.
And the wonderful Jagannath deities. I got reminded of the Jagannath verses. Are you okay?
Yeah, Prabhuji, everything is fine. Means this area is not affected that much.
Good, because you're a pure devotee. Krishna takes care of his sincere devotees like you. You're taking shelter of Lord Hari. Lord Hari moved the hurricane.
Yeah. How are you?
Thank you. Yes, I'm okay. I'm outside in Fort Lauderdale, not in Punta Gorda. So I left the place thinking there may be power outages and stuff like that, and done. So I evacuated yesterday morning, early morning. So, which was a good decision by Krishna's mercy. So with that, let's read Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam, Canto 10, Chapter 9, text number 21. This chapter is entitled Lord Mother Yashoda binds Lord Krishna. We have read till text number 20 so far, and we have been discussing, yesterday we were talking about this point, that the good fortune of Mata Yashoda, the good fortune of Mata Yashoda. Neither Brahma nor Shiva nor Lakshmi can get this good fortune. Prasadam le bhire gopi yat tat prapa vimuktida. That was the good fortune. And we were also discussing that how the quality of Bhritya Vashyata, the Lord is bound by the love of his servant. Bhritya means servant. Servant ke vash mein aa gaye. Or his devotee. Servant not be the best word, is devotee. Who is performing loving devotional service. So now we have 3 more verses, 21, 2, and 3. Let's try to complete those today. Nayam sukha apo bhagavan dehinam gopika sutta jnaninam chatma bhutanam yatha bhakti matam iha. Translation and purport by A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada Ki Jai. The Supreme Personality of Godhead, Krishna, the son of Mother Yashoda, is accessible to devotees engaged in spontaneous loving devotional service, but he is not as easily accessible to mental speculators, to those for striving for self-realization by severe austerities and penances, or to those who consider the body as the same as self. It's purport where maybe 2 devotees can read, so everyone can get some chance to read. Would someone like to read this verse, purport, I mean?
I can read it.
Yeah, great.
Hare Kṛṣṇa devotees, Krishna, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, as the son of Mother Yashoda, is very easily available to devotees, but not to tapasvis, yogis, jnanis, and others who have a bodily concept of life. Although they may sometimes be called as Shanta Bhaktas, real bhakti begins with Dasya Rasa. Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita 4:11, Ye yatamam prapadyante tam svataiva prajamyaham mama vartamanu vartante manusha partha sarvashaha. As living entities surrender unto me, I reward them accordingly. Everyone follows my path in all respects. O son of Pritha, everyone is seeking Krishna, for he is the super soul of all individual souls. Everyone loves his body and wants to protect it because he is within the body as the soul, and everyone loves the soul because the soul is part and parcel of super soul. Therefore, everyone is actually seeking to achieve happiness by reviving his relationship with the super soul. As the Lord says in Bhagavad Gita 15:15, where there is just Vadaischa sarve ahameva vedyo. By all Vedas, it is I who am to be known. Therefore, the karmis, jnanis, yogis, and saintly persons are all seeking Krishna. But by following in the footsteps of devotees who are in direct relationship with Krishna, especially the inhabitants of Vrindavana, one can reach the supreme position of associating with Krishna. As it is said, Vrindavanam parityajya padam ekam na gacchati. Krishna does not leave Vrindavana even for a moment. The Vrindavana Vasis, Mother Yashoda, Krishna's friends, and Krishna's conjugal lovers, the younger gopis, with whom he dances, have very intimate relationship with Krishna. And if one follows in the footsteps of these devotees, Krishna is available, although the Nitya Siddha expansions of Krishna always remain with Krishna. If those engaged in sadhana siddhi follow in the footsteps of Krishna's Nitya Siddhi associates, such sadhana siddhis also can easily attain Krishna without difficulty. But there are those who are attached to bodily concept of life. Lord Brahma and Lord Shiva, for example, have very prestigious positions, and thus they have sense of being very exalted Ishwaras. In other words, because Lord Brahma and Lord Shiva are Gunavataras and have the positions, they have some small sense of being like Krishna. But the pure devotees who inhabit Vrindavana do not possess the bodily conception. They are fully dedicated to the service of the Lord in sublime affection, prema. Śrī Caitanya Mahāprabhu has therefore recommended prema pum artho mana. The highest perfection of life is prema. pure love in relationship with Krishna. And Mother Yashoda appears to be the topmost devotee who have attained this perfection. Haribo. Wonderful purport and the translation, Prabhuji. I understood a little bit that if we have bhakti, then it will be, we don't need anything else. In fact, gnanis, karmis, so many others, try so much, but in bhakti and with the association of devotees, we just need to follow their footsteps, and then we can attain the love and from Lord Krishna. So how Lord Krishna never leaves Vrindavana, because he's always association with gopis, Yashoda Mata, and so many rasas, Balrama and all. So in that way, if we can just follow their footsteps of the pure devotees, then we can easily attain Krishna. Please add Prabhuji. Hare Krishna, then appeal.
Thank you so much, Prabhuji. Again, a very, very important verse. There are many, many important verses in this whole chapter. This is certainly one of them. Jnani Jnaninam Chatma Bhutanam. Let's kind of focus on these words. Nayam Sukhapo. Sukha Apa means easily he's obtainable. Who is obtainable easily? Bhagavan. Unto whom? Who is that? Gopika Sutta. That Supreme Bhagavan, who is Gopika Sutta. Sutta means son. Gopika here is Yashoda. So let's read that. That Supreme Lord Bhagavan, who is the son of Mother Yashoda, is easily obtainable by Bhakti Matam. To others, Nayam Sukhapo. To whom? 3 words are mentioned. Dehinam. Those mean those who are attached to the body, who consider the body as the real self, or basically in the bodily conception of life. Dehinam. Jnaninam. Those who just focus on knowledge. We discussed the difference in one of the classes about the difference between Jnanis and Bhaktas. And then the third, he's not accessible to the mental speculators, those who are trying to those striving for self-realization by severe austerities and penances, or those who consider the body as self. So beautiful. So again, but to the bhaktas, he's very easily obtainable, sukha. So the contrasting in one more point we can note in our the contrast we did for the jnanis and the yogis and the bhaktas. So Krishna is easily obtainable to bhaktas. This is the essence of this verse. Yatha bhakti matam iha, like Mata Yashoda, or those who are following the footsteps of Mata Yashoda. Lord is very, very easily obtainable. Through other processes, Nayam Sukhapu, that means he's difficult. Na Sukha. It's very difficult to get, especially in this day and age. Controlling mind, so hard. Thinking about, but having this higher taste, as we see Prabhupada came to the United States, so many people who had no conception of Krishna consciousness became pure devotees. So very easy. Does not take there are no hard and fast rules. It is not only for Indians or Americans or rich or poor. Anyone and everyone can take this process and follow in the footsteps of great souls like Mata Yashoda. If one, Prabhupada writes so nicely, if one follows in the footsteps of these devotees, Krishna is available. So that's all our movement is all about, to follow in the footsteps of great souls like Mata Yashoda, like Śrī Prabhupada. Mahajano yena gatha sapanta, to follow in the footsteps, the great souls. Then he is very easily obtainable. Bhakti is easy for easy, simple for simple. And otherwise it will get very complicated if we try to figure out by our own. Any other thoughts anyone has in this connection? Let's read the next verse. 22. Anyone would like to read? Raghu, Prabhu, want to read?
Sure, I can read. Hare Krishna devotees. Text 22. Krishna's Strugraha Krityesu Vrayagrayam Matari Prabhu Akrashid Arjuna Purvam Goyakau Danadat Majau. Translation and purport and translation by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada, Jai Srila Prabhupada. While Mother Yashoda was very busy with household affairs, the Supreme Lord Krishna observed twin trees known as Yamala Arjuna, which in a former millennium had been the demigod sons of Kuvera. So here we are going to read about probably the next chapter, how he rescued the sons of Kuvera. So, Hare Krishna, back to you.
Thank you so much, Prabhuji. So the scene changes here. In the previous scenes, Mata Yashoda was trying to tie Krishna, and we learned that Drishtva Parishramam Krishna Kripaya Seed Swabandhane, seeing the endeavor of Mata Yashoda, she brought hundreds of ropes. And finally, when she was sweating, perspiring, then finally she was able to bind Krishna. Now she has other things to do, right? She has been already sweating, and other things are piling up, adding up, right? The household duties she has to do. So a lot of time looks like went in this pastime of tying Krishna. But now she is sure that now the baby will not move, right? It's like, what do you call it in US? High seat or child seat, right? You put that in the child seat or and lock it or put the seat belt. Now you say, okay, now the baby is not going to move, right? Basically, that's what Mata Yashoda did, right? That's where the concept of maybe the seat belt is coming from. So Krishna, as Damodar Leela, and Krishna has been bound with this belt of love, right? With the ropes of love. And Mata Yashoda goes to do her stuff. Griha Krityeshu, the word used is Griha Krityeshu, the household affairs, cooking, cleaning, etc. Very busy. So she was very busy. The mother, Matri. What did Krishna see? Krishna saw these two trees, Arjuna trees. Who were they? Purvam, Pele, Guyakau. Dhanada. Wow. Atmajo. Dhanada is dhan ko dene wala. Da means give, dhan means wealth. Dhan ko kaun dete? Kuber. Kuber is in charge of wealth, demigod in charge. Atmaja. Atmaja means the sons, children. Krishna is like the Atmaja of Yashoda. As the word comes. Atmaja, born from self, born from here in this case, Dhanada Atmaja. Atmajau, plural or Dvavachan. So 2 sons of Kuvera. In the previous millennium, they were the 2 sons of Kuvera. So that pastime is going to come later. But Krishna here just observed those. Anything Krishna does has multiple reasons. So Krishna realized, okay, now if Mata is there, I cannot do that pastime. So basically, she goes in, and then Krishna is observing. Let's see. He's going to, in the next chapter, do something. We'll read that later, but let's read the last verse of this chapter. Would someone like to read? Yes, Upendra, Prabhu.
Yeah, Prabhuji. Can you? Yeah, Prabhuji. Hare Kṛṣṇa, Prabhuji. Text 23. Pura narada sapena vrikyatam prapitam vadat nala kuvara manigribhavit kyatam sriyavitam. Prabhuji, can you scroll a little down? Translation. All glory to Srila Prabhupada. In their former birth, these 2 sons, known as Nalakubera and Manigriva, were extremely opulent and fortunate, but because of pride and false prestige, they did not care about anyone, and thus Narad Muni cursed them to become trees. Purport. Thus end the Bhaktivedanta purports of the 10th canto, 9th chapter of the Srimad-Bhāgavatam, entitled Mother Jashoda Binds Lord Krishna. So this purport basically tells about how these 2 sons of Kubera, they have some false pride in them, and they are also careless. So that is that Narada Muni that not feel good on both the son of Kubera. So he gives shaps to them, and they both are those 2 trees. And by next we'll read how the Krishna by touching these 2 trees, how they will be they got from that their original birth. Hare Kṛṣṇa.
Thank you so much, Prabhu. Most of the majority or a significant portion of verses in the Bhagavatam are also in the same meter as Bhagavad Gita, which is basically the Anushtup Chanda. This is called the Anushtup Chanda. So we read it in this meter like Dharma Kshetre Kurukshetre Samveta Yutsava Mamaka Pandava Shreva Kim Akurvata Sanjaya Vinaya Sampanne Brahmane Gavihastini Shuni Chaiva Shapake Cha Pandita Samaddarshina Puranarada Shapena Vrikshatam Prapitau Madat Nala Kuvaramani Grivai Iti Khyatu Shriyanvutau. Right? Did you see that? The meter? We follow the same meter. Called as Anushtupa. In most verses. There are other verses also, which in different meters, but a majority fit in this meter. So Pura Narada Shapena. Pehle, Pura means before, Narad ke shap se. Because of the curse of Narada. Vrikshatam. Vriksha means trees. Prapta means to obtain. So they obtained that form of trees. Madat. mada, madness. Nala, Kuvara and Manigriva. The two names, very simple. Khyatau, Shriya Anvithau. They were extremely opulent, Shriya Anvithau, but because of false pride, mada, and prestige, they do not care about anyone, and thus Narada cursed them to become trees. So this could be a great point. Because of pride and because of anything, someone may develop pride because of knowledge. Someone may develop pride because of wealth. Oh, I have a lot of wealth, I am superior. Someone could develop because of learning. Oh, I know more verses. Oh, I can give better class. Someone could develop, oh, I know I can cook better. It could be anything, wealth, knowledge, scholarship, etc., etc. Pride comes before the fall. His Grace Gauranga Prabhu was mentioning in a nice class, when you get pride, you're already fallen. How that will manifest is just a detail. You become proud, you're already fallen. How that will manifest, like what story, does this make sense? How it will manifest is just a detail. Madat. There are 4 types of blind people. Nevam pashyati janmandha, kamandha eva na pashyati, arthi dosham na pashyati, madon matta na pashyati. One is blind by birth. Kamandha, blind by lust, like Bilamangal Thakur, when he was Silana Mishra. Was very attached to that lady. Even at the death of his father, he used that corpse to get to that. So very, very attached. Ravana, classic example of his lust killed him. And so many others also. Ajamil, right? He was blind, he could not see, kicked out his own wife, could not see what's right, what's wrong, blinds us. Jansyanda, Dhritarashtra, Kamanda, Nevam Pashyati Janmanda, Kamanda Evana Pashyati, Madon Mattana Pashyati. The classic example is here, Nalkuver, Manigriva, and even Duryodhana. Same example. In Hindi, we say, Bade Baap ki bigdi hui aulad. Right? Someone, oh, my daddy is the chief minister. Don't dare, like sometimes maybe typically in some movie you may have seen. Do you know who my father is? Like, he's the chief minister of this state. Don't try to touch me. That spoiled brats. So Nalakur and Manigriva were also proud of they were beautiful, right? Very opulent. Imagine, Dhanada Atmajau. The one who is in charge of the giving, distributing wealth is their father. Therefore, Kunti Maharani says that wealth is often an obstacle in the path of bhakti because it makes one proud. Oh, I'm better, I'm superior. Sometimes I've seen so many examples of devotees who have very little in terms of wealth, but they're so grateful and happy in performing bhakti. On the contrary, there could be someone millionaire or multimillionaire, but still not content and still struggling. So who is really wealthy? Lakshmana, Lakshmi Sampanna. The real wealth is the wealth of bhakti. One who has that is really wealthy. And this wealth of this world, this hurricane is a good example. Big houses completely submerged in water. Big boats, gone with water. So the waves of time, you may say, no, I don't live in that hurricane affected area. So for someone, it could be hurricane. Recently, someone shared this article with me. A family in Texas, Indian family, doctor, very, they were not just doctor, but they're very opulent, very like politically, socially, very influential. The doctor's wife, just like 2-3 days back, just very recent. His wife and maybe one daughter or two daughters, I forgot, but 1 or 2 daughters. They were traveling. Incidentally, they had a car accident. They were, of course, very rich, very influential, but both the wife and the daughter died young. And the wife must be like 45-ish. Daughter was like young, 15, 20 years, and on the spot dead. And it's not anything new. Every day it happens. Every day it happens. But still, a foolish person like me does not prioritize the wealth of Krishna consciousness. We all know that. We all hear that. So a smart person, an intelligent person would prioritize that this is what is really going to go with me. This is what is real wealth of Krishna consciousness. Prema pumartho mahan. This is real dhan, bhagavad-dhan, prema-dhan. So we must prioritize that and be humble. That's the main lesson. Pride kills us. Humility uplifts us. So this is the last verse, and of course, in more detail, we'll see in the next chapter, this pastime, what happens. Krishna observed these trees, Narad Muni cursed, and what happens further. But in this verse, in this whole chapter, there is a lot of verses about glorification of bhakti. Bhakti, how Krishna is bound by bhakti, how Krishna sells himself to a devotee. Tulasi dalamatrena jalasya chulakina va vikrineti swam atmano varada bhava shobhani. If someone offers little tulsi and some water, Krishna says, I sell myself to that person. Sell myself. Bech dete. Will anyone of us even dare to think about it? Let's say someone gives us a glass of water and he says, I'm so grateful to you. You gave me some water. Now, henceforth, I'm your dog. I have sold myself to you. Whatever you do, I'll do that. I'm your property now. You give me food, I'll eat. You tell me do this, I'll do that. You kick me out of the home, I'll be out. That's what Krishna does. How? Yes, someone gives a little water. Patram pushpam. Someone gives little tulsi. He's willing to sell himself. Bhakta vashyata. So, and of course, the 2 fingers we discuss in great detail. Never give up, the indetermination. And once we have the strong determination, then Krishna will show his mercy. Drishtva parishramam Krishna kripaya asit swabandhane. Without sharing, without showing our genuine endeavor, mercy won't follow. Kar and pa, that becomes kripa. God helps those who help themselves. We discussed that also. So let's take some thoughts. Anything struck you from this chapter or today's reading or anything you want to share in the next 5 minutes? Let's take at least one thought, one comment from everyone. Anyone? Please feel free to share something you liked in this chapter or something you want to share with anyone, everyone.
Hare Kṛṣṇa, Prabhuji. Yeah, so when you spoke about the ego, Prabhuji, so I like that point very much. So when we think that we have this one, my father is that, my father is this one, so it is, easily fall down. I like that point very much. Thank you, Prabhuji.
Right? I was sharing this in the kids' class, and if we really whatever we are proud of, let's say for someone thinks it's wealth or anything, if we just think a little deeper, we'll realize that it is all borrowed. Someone say, oh, you give a nice class, then we should think, did I give nice class? What I did is just repeated Prabhupada's words and purports and what I heard from senior Vaishnavas. So the credit goes to them. I just repeated. And that was Prabhupada's mood. And then that will keep us humble. If we keep the credit to ourselves, same with the wealth. It's Krishna's wealth. I'm just a medium. I need to accept my quota and then use the rest for his service. Right? That's the first verse of Ishopanishad. That we all have our quota, right? We take our quota and use the rest in Krishna's service. When God gives us more, we should not raise the standard of living, rather we should increase the standard of giving. Just near devotee shared about wealth. Very nice, Prabhu. Thank you. Thank you for sharing that point. Anyone else wants to add? Yes, Prabhu.
Yeah, Prabhuji, that the first verse of today we read, right? So one thing we read, like if we are following the footstep of devotees, then we are maybe will be some connection with the Krishna. So one point, I'm able to remember from Caitanya-caritāmṛta, like sadhu sangha sarva shastra kahe labhe matra sadhu sangha siddhi prapta hue. So if we'll get a great Vaishnava, we will get association with the good Vaishnava. Then I think we'll get some the bless of also some Krishna.
Very well, thank you. That's the essence of all the Sarva Shastra. Very nice. Following the footsteps. Very nice point. And therefore we are called Rupa Anugas or Prabhupada Anugas, Anugata. So we live life and serve under the directions, following the footsteps of great souls. Very nice point, under good association. Anyone else wants to add, share anything on today's reading or like general, this chapter?
Prabhuji, I missed the class today, but from yesterday, I remember that Krishna would go, though he's strong in all his opulences, he's the top, right? But for a pure devotee, he would go low, showing only for a pure devotee, he would go low in that situation. So that's what is learned, which I remember.
Thank you. It's a beautiful point. And that he is higher than the highest, but he becomes a servant of the servant. Beautiful point. And we discuss many examples, how Arjuna's driver he becomes, how the Pandavas' watchman he becomes, and so many other. In the Rajasuriya Yagya, he was washing the feet. Just think about who will pick that service, right? And especially the supreme controller of all controllers, right? Thank you. Very nice point. Anyone else? Okay, so I guess we will pause here and begin 10th chapter tomorrow, 10.10, Canto 10, Chapter 10, and see what happens to the trees. We'll see that tomorrow. So thank you so much. Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam Purana ki jai, Śrīla Prabhupada ki jai, Samahita Gaura Bhaktarinda ki jai, Vanchakalpatarubhyascha Kripasindhubhya eva cha patitanam pavanebhyo Vaishnavibhyo namo namah. Hare Krishna. Thank you so much. Hare Bol.
Thank you.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Thank you so much, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.